Welcome back, students. So today's class we are going to discuss about the harmful microorganisms. Last class we discussed about the useful microorganisms like yeast, rhizobium, which helps in nitrogen fixation, yeast in making alcohol, and bread, cakes, pastries. But today's class we are going to discuss about harmful microorganisms. That microorganisms which can harm us or cause diseases, harmful diseases, which can affect our body. So, the first thing is harmful microorganisms. There are some insects and animals which act as a carrier of disease-causing microbes. This is important. Carrier of disease-causing microbes. Houseful is one such carrier. Houseful is the example of a carrier, disease-causing carrier. Mosquito is another carrier. And female Aedes mosquito acts as a carrier of dengue virus. It is very dangerous. Dengue virus is very dangerous. All mosquitoes breed in water. So, all mosquitoes breed in water. So, you have to, the mosquito in female Aedes mosquito acts as a carrier of dengue virus. So, hence, one should not let water collect anywhere. You shouldn't let the water collect in a place or stagnate the water in a place. It can also consent to a dengue virus. The mosquitoes can harm you by this dengue virus. Your family can be in danger. You have to keep this in mind. So let's move to the next part. Some common disease, some common microorganisms. Some common human disease caused by microorganisms. Human disease like TB. TB is important. TB, or you can say tuberculosis, or measles, chickenpox, polio, cholera, typhoid, hepatitis A, malaria, etc. TB is caused by bacteria. This is important. TB is caused by bacteria, and mode of transmission is air. It can come through you by air. Now, what are the preventive measures you can take? If it comes to you by air, you can't protect yourself from this air. Like you have the virus, TB, bacteria can go inside your body. So, what are the preventive measures you can take? The preventive measures you can take is keep the patient in complete isolation. Keep the personal belongings of the patient. Keep the personal belongings of the patient away from those of two others. Keep the personal belongings of the patient close to your family or you. You can also get the TB bacteria inside your body. So, what can you do to prevent this? The third point of this to prevent preventive measures is vaccination. Vaccination is very important, but in a suitable age. You can't give vaccines to any age person, any aged person. You have to get the knowledge of suitable age. You have to consult a doctor. Okay, let's move to the measles. So it is caused by virus. So how it can come through or air or through contact. If a person is having this virus, measles virus, if the person touches you or contact with you something, that you will also get that measles virus. So measles virus is caused by virus. TB is caused by bacteria and measles is caused by virus. It can come through you by air or contact. Or, so what are the preventive measures you can take? Same as TB, keep the patient in complete isolation, keep the personal belongings of the patient away from those to others. Vaccination to be given at suitable age. Vaccination is very important. So let's move to the chicken pox. Chicken pox. Some people had chicken pox. I had chicken pox last year only. So it is a viral disease. Sorry, just a minute. So it can come to you by air or water. So you can't protect yourself from air or water. You have to drink water. You have to use water at some point. So air can come to you at any point. You can't protect yourself from air. So some preventive measures you can take are same as TB and measles. What preventive measures you can take? Keep the patient in complete isolation. Keep the personal belongings of the patient away from those to others. Vaccination is very important but at a suitable age. Same as measles and TB. Let's move to the polio part. Polio. This can come to you by virus. This is microorganisms involved in polio is virus. I'm writing this. Just a minute. Virus. Mode of transmission is air. So it is also keep the patient in complete isolation, keep the personal belongings of the patient away from those to others. Vaccination is important. These three are the preventive measures. TB, measles, chickenpox, polio, these four diseases have the same kinds of preventive measures. So we have read up to this four types. What are the types? TB, measles, chickenpox, polio. This chart is very important. You have to keep in mind. Not this part only. It is important. The whole part is important. The whole part is important. So let's move to the cholera part. Cholera typhoid. Cholera is caused by bacteria. This is very important. Cholera is caused by, this can also come in a question in the fill in the blanks. You can say cholera is caused by dash. You have to write bacteria. You have to remember. So it can come to you by water or food. So what are the preventive measures you can take? Maintain personal hygiene and good sanitary habits. Consume properly cooked food. You can't eat raw food items. Boiled drinking water. So in boiled drinking water, what happens? No microorganisms can live with that temperature. All microorganisms will die. So you are safe to drink the boiled water. Just underline it. Properly. And second part is vaccination. Vaccination is very important. And let's move to the typhoid. Typhoid is caused by bacteria. Typhoid is also caused by bacteria. So it can come to you. Mode of transmission is water. So what preventive measures you can take? Maintain personal hygiene, good sanitary habits, consume properly cooked food and boiled drinking water, and vaccination. Vaccination is very important at the case of TB, measles, chickenpox, polio also, and at the case of cholera and typhoid also. You just change the color of the vaccine. Now let's discuss about hepatitis. It is a viral disease. A mode of transmission is water. It is a viral disease. It can come to you by water. So drink boiled drinking water, and vaccination is also important. See, vaccination is important. See, vaccination in all other points. This point two, this point two, and this point two. So vaccination is very important. But only case of malaria, vaccination is not that important. So let's move to the malaria. Protozoitis and protozoan disease, it can come to you by only on mosquitoes. So what preventive measures you can take is use mosquito net and repellents. Use mosquito net and repellents. Spray insecticides. This is very important. And control breeding off so that millions of mosquitoes don't come to you and bite you and you get the malaria. So I think you have understood this chat. This chat is very important. This chat full chat can also come in exam, but some inside questions can also come. Suppose polio is caused by dash. How can polio come to you? Dash. Air, water, MCQs also. So malaria is a dash disease, protozoan disease. So this full chat can also come. So this is very important. So let's move to the next part. Disease causing microorganisms in animals. Up to this we have read up only disease causing in humans. Polio, malaria disease, etc. Malaria, non-malarian disease, malaria, it is a protozoan disease, etc. We have read so much in chickenpox, smallpox, but that disease comes on only humans. Now let's come to the disease causing microorganisms in animals. Several microorganisms not only cause disease in humans and plants but also in other animals. For example, anthrax. Anthrax is a dangerous human disease. You have heard from your parents that anthrax is a very dangerous disease. Anthrax is a dangerous human contagious disease caused by bacterium. It's caused by bacteria. Foot and mouth disease of cattle is caused by a virus. Foot mouth disease of cattle. Food. So Robert Koch, or Koch you can say, Robert Koch in 1876 discovered the bacterium Bacillus anthrax which cause anthrax disease. Bacillus anthrax. Bacillus anthrax cause bacterium disease. On today only, my class was online classes was held and I asked my class teacher, my science teacher I can say, that Bacillus anthrax is caused by anthrax. I asked this question. Now I remember this. So, disease causing microorganisms in animals is not that important. So, let's move to the. You have just keep in mind for your knowledge, but I don't think so. Some questions will come to you next. So, disease causing microorganisms in plants. We have read disease causing in humans. We have read disease causing in animals. Now let's move to the plants part. You can see some images are there. There's 4 images. So disease causing microorganisms in plants. Several microorganisms cause disease in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and etc. The disease reduce the yield of crop. They can be controlled by use of certain chemicals which can kill the microbes. So you just have to keep in mind that like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others. Reduce the yield of crops. What they do just to reduce the yield of crops. So this is also not that important. Only disease causing in humans is very important. You have to keep the chat in the mind. Chart. So let's move to some common plant disease caused by microorganisms. This is the name of plant diseases. Citrus cancer. Citrus cancer is the name of a disease caused by bacteria and it can come to the plants by air. This is the figure of the disease caused plant. Now rust of wheat. Rust of wheat, what is that? It is an fungus disease, and its cause mode of transmission is air and seeds. And you can see the picture as well as. So now let's move to the yellow vein mosaic of Hindi. In Hindi it is known as Hindi. So it is caused by virus and it can come to by only by insects. So the picture you can see here. I have circled it. So this is the picture of the disease. So you just have to keep this on mind. This is not that important. I'm saying it completely. So let's move to the next part. Food preservation. Now this is important. These 6 methods. There is 5 and at the next slide there is 1. So food preservation. What is food preservation? Food can be preserved by protecting it from microorganisms. Definition of food preservation is protecting the food from harmful microorganisms or to get spoiled is known as food preservation. So, there are 6 methods. One is chemical method. Chemical method, what is chemical method? Food like pickles can be preserved by using chemicals like salts. It is very important. Salts, edible oils, Janssen squatters can be preserved by using sodium benzoate. These names are very important. These chemicals are called preservatives. So, this what I underlined these things, highlighting these things. These are important preservatives. In the fill in the blanks it will come. Name some preservative, name some common preservative used in our homes, which is common salt. In my book, if there is express fill in the blanks, I think it says B. There is written write one example of food preservative used in our home. This that will be answer will be common salt. And the third method is by using sugar. By using sugar. Food items like jam, jellies, squashes, etc. can be preserved by using sugar solution. It prevents the growth of microbes. So sugar solution is one of the solution of method I can say by using oil and vinegar. Oil and vinegar. Food items like pickles, vegetables, fish, meat, etc. preserved by oil and vinegar. It also prevents the growth of microbes. Every method prevents the growth of microbes so that the food doesn't get spoiled by these microorganisms. So the fifth part is by heat and cold treatments. We use refrigerators to store some food. Heating food like kills microbes. I have told that heating of water kills microbes, but heating of food also kills the microbes. Similarly, storing food items at a low temperature prevents the growth of microbes. In that so low temperature, microbes doesn't grow. So the food doesn't get spoiled. So let's move to the sixth part. By storage and packing. See, in these pictures you can say these pickles are packed. Pickles means achar you can say in Hindi. These are packed. See, there are some labels. They are also packed. See, everything is packed. Bottle caps. This type of this plastics are used. Yeah, everything is it. So, storage and packing is very common. You have seen when your father is coming from outside and he thinks that he brings something. It is also used from cats, preserved by cats. So now the main thing is pasteurization. Who discovered pasteurization? Louis Pasteur discovered pasteurization. Pasteurization, the process of the definition of pasteurization is the process of heating milk about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly chilling it to prevent the growth of microbes is called pasteurization. This process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. This is very important. On today's class test, I was having a class test 7:30 on tuition. The same question came to me that define pasteurization of 2 marks and who discovered the who discovered pasteurization. It was very easy. I think this ditto thing and I got the full marks. You have to write the ditto thing also. Okay, let me just clear it for you. You can see it clearly. The process of heating will to about 70 degrees Celsius for 15 to 30 seconds. This is very important. We have to heat it for 70 degrees Celsius for how much time? 15 to 30 seconds. Then suddenly chilling it to prevent the growth of microbes is known as pasteurization. You can also take the screenshot so that you can just write on your notebook, etc. So let's move to the next. Nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle is very important. This is you need to understand quite nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle. Atmospheric nitrogen is like water cycle only. See, this cycle is coming from nitrogen to fixing bacteria, then it's like soils, plants, and animals, and also for rotating. See, the cycle things run out. So put goal. Then lightning between nitrogen and bacteria. Then it starts from here, rotating, and also ends here. So the thing is, atmospheric nitrogen starts related to this, 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 then related to this, and also related to this, and ends with atmospheric nitrogen also. But the thing is, you need to understand. It takes a lot of time for me also to understand this nitrogen cycle. But it is easy, very easy. When you get to gist to it, it is very easy. Atmospheric nitrogen. We know nitrogen is very more percentage than oxygen and carbon dioxide. Nitrogen is the most gaseous percentage which is present in our environment. So, it is related to nitrogen fixing bacteria and blue-green algae also. Cyanobacteria. You can say blue-green algae also known as cyanobacteria. It is named like algae, don't think. It is named like algae. Don't think that it is an algae. No, it is a bacteria. It is named as cyanobacteria. Or you can say rhizobium. So these two are nitrogen fixing bacteria. Fix atmospheric nitrogen. Their function is to fix atmospheric nitrogen. From there we come to compound of nitrogen in the soil. Nitrogen, so they are present in root nodules. We know we have bacteria present in root nodules. They fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere and comes to the soil part. Roots are present in the soil. Root system and shoot system. So compounds of soil it takes by plant take that nitrogen. Then plants are eaten by animals, deer. So, plants eat, some animals eat the plants, then that plant dies. Then what happens? Nitrogen's waste from excretion and death. Excretion you can say or death. Then it comes to again the nitrogen comes to the soil part. Then soil too. Bacteria turn compounds of nitrogen into gaseous nitrogen. Then that bacteria what they do, they turn the atmospheric nitrogen, they turn the soil nitrogen into atmospheric nitrogen. Then again the cycle comes back to atmospheric nitrogen. Then also it goes to fixing bacteria, green algae, rhizobium. Then the same process goes on. Then I forgot one thing, lightning fixes nitrogen. This is also important. This is also kind of, but if you just don't write this thing, this doesn't matter, but this you have to just suppose the thing is forget this. The process is like this, then three parts, then this, then back to this. Lightning fusion action is not that important, but it's important. You know what I mean. So I think you have understood nitrogen cycle. Last part we are going to discuss, then we are going to end the chapter. The chapter will finally end. So, then we will discuss some question answers also. That video will come in most probably tomorrow. The nitrogen in the atmosphere is converted into nitrogen compound in soil by nitrogen bacteria and blue-green algae. This thing you can just take the screenshot. This is very important. These are the definitions. Animal feeding on plants get these proteins and other compounds. When plants, so suppose this is the example that you have to write this question like this. You have to write questions like this point wise. You can just write like this and paragraph you're writing or letter writing you're writing in English literature. You can't write that paragraph type 150 words. No, you have to write by point wise. What this will do, this will look good and your handwriting also will look good and the teacher will what they do, oh this student's handwriting is written so point wise. Okay, okay. She will just he or she will just overcome it and you will get the marks. If you are doing something wrong, also the teacher just overcome it. He or she will give the number. So is it for the microorganism chapter. If you have any doubt, I will make a for one person only. I will make a special video for you. But please let me know in the comment section. This is it for the chapter and the video. The next video will be discussing the question answers of this chapter. Some important question answers with answers and their explanation we will bring into you by Archit Mansar at the next. Okay, thank you. Thank you.